Alright guys, welcome to today's video. Well, today's video, we're actually going to be watching an older video. This video was filmed back in 2009 to 2010. It was that winter. I was definitely transitioning at that point. I was coming off of an injury in 2008 through 2009, and then I ended up winning the X Games in 2009. When I won that, I was so shocked, and I didn't think I was actually good enough to win that year, and I somehow pulled it off. And not that I didn't ride good, I rode amazing that year, but the fact that I was battling myself mentally. So it was a really hard year for me. It really was. It was a difficult time. But I had the opportunity to film a video with my longtime sponsor, Fox, and we ended up coming out with something I was very proud of. Now, this video was filmed by a friend of mine named CJ. He was hired by Fox to do it, and we ended up filming it only at my skate park, which is the Incline Club, and it was in wintertime, so it was really cold out. We had really no other option. And now what I love about this video was the fact that there was some serious moves in there. And I was rewatching this video recently, and it kind of shocked me. It took me back by some of the stuff that I was able to pull up, especially for that time frame. So what we're going to be doing today, we're going to be watching it, and I'm going to be stopping and telling you guys certain stories about the tricks that I was doing. So this should be a lot of fun, and we'll get it started right now. Now, the start of this video is me driving around in my 2005 white Evo RS. I had this one only for a few months. This car had like 130,000 miles on it. I got it for like $10,000, and it was an awesome car. I actually drove it to Florida and back with no issues, and I love this car. It was fast as heck too. So at this point, I was just trying to have some fun. I had this idea for an intro where I would just drive the Evo around the back of the bike shop. So here's the one clip that we worked on a lot. This was kind of impressive. As you can see, I come to a stop and immediately step out of the car. Now I want to pause the frame right there on myself. I'm going to zoom in on my body right here, and the reason why I want to bring this up is because this is the most I've ever weighed in my life. So I think like fully clothed with like a jacket, I weighed myself at like 178. That was a lot of weight for me. That was the biggest I ever was, and it was the winter time, and I was kind of being really lazy. I was playing Call of Duty a lot, eating whatever I wanted to, and it really caught up to me quick. So I figured I'd just point that one out. So we'll continue the video now. Now the first clip of the video is kind of like a spoof clip. I ended up doing like a bail over the top of the 10-foot into the foam pit, and that was rough. I remember landing on my back upside down, and it hurt a lot. Now, the start of this video are some of the cool things I did in the Incline Club at this time, and it was a really cool setup. The mini ramp was awesome. There was a lot of wall ride stuff. There's a lot of different things that were set back. So you can see I'm doing a couple wall ride clips here and there. But then this mini ramp was like my favorite mini ramp ever. I used to be able to go so high on that mini ramp. It was a 7-foot ramp. Now this clip right here, I want to stop and talk to you guys about because this one is pretty cool. I wanted to do something that was like technical and something I've never seen anybody do before, and I came up with this idea of doing a 360 whip to tail tap to ice pick. And then when I get in the ice pick, I wanted to come back over fakie, but I wanted to do a full 270 and land back in. This clip right here took a long time to do, but I've never seen anybody else do it before at that point. I mean, I still don't really remember anybody else doing it. Thinking about it right now, I'm sure it's been done, but I was pretty proud of that one. So I try to be really unique with the lines I came up with for this video. I mean, there's a lot of filler stuff, you know. I mean, there's still cool things I'm proud about, but, you know, a couple things that, you know, aren't exactly crazy. But leading us to the next couple clips, it's going to get pretty serious. There's a lot of things that I was terrified of doing at the time. Here's that awesome clamshell, whatever you want to call it, the bowl corner. That was a really, really cool setup. People were shocked when they walk in the skate park and see that thing. It was crazy, and it was so much fun to ride. So I did a lot of my clips using this Euro setup because it was so high up there and so weird and so different that you wouldn't see it at another skate park. So I was so intrigued by that setup, so I did a lot of different things on it. Especially with stuff on the top of it, and it was so much fun to ride. One of the coolest things we've ever had at the Incline Club, for sure. Here's a cool gap that I didn't really think of until we filmed this video, and I don't think I've ever done it again after that. Now I wanted to be very, diverse with my riding. I wanted to do, a lot of different things, whether it be big tricks and technical tricks. And I ended up doing, this 540 and the 180 bar spin, which was really cool. This line in general, I'm really proud about. Doing that wall ride, dropping in, going straight into a flip whip over the spine. Now this clip is pretty crazy. Now at the time, I was not good at doing clip down 720s. Right before my crash, I was able to do 720s on everything. I finally figured it out, and it took a while. It took so long. That was one of the hardest tricks I've ever learned, was doing 720. And the reason why, it just never felt consistent. So there was times where I'd be like, oh yeah, I figured it out, I learned it, and I'd go the next day and I would crash it. So that clip right there was me trying it just randomly. The only way I would land a trick would be like using the element of surprise. I would just have to be like, okay, I'm sending it today, and I would just go for it and it would work. I couldn't do it back to back. It was definitely not a trick that I had, ready in my bag, but if I just randomly tried it, it would work, and that was me randomly trying it. So back over to the Euro now. I did the truck driver drop in, which was pretty cool. The decade kind of 360 downside whip up, and this clip I'm really psyched about. I remember my friend Augie Simon Sr. walked in right away when I was about to send it, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it for him. But the next clip I'm gonna show you guys is even crazier. This was insane. See, I'm flying around that bowl corner, backflip up on top of it. Now this is when it gets serious, but I'm gonna stop it right here. This day at the skate park, it was packed solid. There was so many people riding, but a lot of people knew I was doing this video, and they were like pretty intrigued in what I was going to be doing. So I started riding, and a lot of people kind of stopped and they were watching me ride. And then I ended up dropping in, and I went around the bowl corner, and as I'm pumping around that bowl corner, it was just a blackout. Bam! I remember slamming into something. I had no idea what happened. I was on the ground, and there was this kid that was on the ground as well. It was a guy that was riding the street course that was next to the setup. For some reason, he came into the bowl corner at the perfect time for me to collide with him. Now this dude was probably like 50 or 60 pounds heavier than me. He was pretty stocky, and we ended up going shoulder to shoulder, and like it was a really rough hit. And I ended up like seeing if I was okay. I was able to move, and we ended up doing the trick. So some of you guys might know this, but majority of you guys don't know this. The front flip drop-in came out of nowhere. I remember hearing a guy, Craig Mass, doing it into a resi ramp, and I was like, oh man, I gotta learn this trick. Like, this has to be done. So what ended up happening was I was at Woodward, and I did it onto the resi, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring this to a real ramp right away. I want to be the first one to do it. So I ended up finding this really unique setup, and I actually did a bar spin to manual, and I went out of the manual and did a front flip drop-in. It was off of a 7-foot quarter pipe into about a 3 or 4 foot bank. So it was pretty crazy, and that was the first one like ever done, and I was so psyched on that one. But the clip, it existed in an old video. I don't remember what video it was. I think it was like an old Shine video or something. I can't remember. I asked Trey about this, and Trey doesn't remember what video it is either. So if any of you guys know, please comment, or, tell me which video it is, because I'm dying to see that clip again, and it would be so cool to see it again. So if any of you guys also have the ride magazine that there was a sequence in, if you guys can tag me in it, send me a picture of it, I would be psyched on that too. The next clip I'm going to show you guys is the last clip of the video, the banger. Now, I wanted to do something that was crazy. I wanted to do something that people were going to talk about. People were going to be like, oh my god, did you see what Scotty did? And there was one trick in particular that I've been wanting to do since we built this setup, and I was terrified of it. It was the scariest trick that I could think of, honestly. I had the idea of doing an ice pick on the Euro side of it, and falling over into the mini ramp. Now, my calculations right now, that wall was about 10 or 11 feet high off the deck of that ramp. Now that ramp was 7 foot high from the coping to the flat bottom, and then it was 6 inches up. So that, from the very top of where I was to the ground, I'm gonna say about 17.5 to about 19 feet. I don't know exactly. I've never done anything that big. I mean, I couldn't tell you anybody that did an over ice pick that big before, and there was so much consequence in this one. It's either you land it or you're in trouble. So I built up the courage for this, and I knew I had to get this one done for this video, and I got up on top of there, and you could see it in my face in this clip right here. I was scared. I was trying to be cool. I was trying to act like I can handle this one, and I'm sitting up there just realizing just how high I was off the ground. I talked to CJ. I told him it was go time, and I went up and I sent it, and here's the clip right here. you could see on my face, like, I was so shocked that it worked out first try. I looked back at CJ so relieved, and I remember just asking him, please tell me you got that. Just the fact that I was able to get that one and ride away from it, I'm so proud of. And that video in general, that there's so many different things in that show my diversity of riding. Whether it be the tricks I did on the Euro, whether it be the technical trick I did on the spine, or just the, you know, the classic table I did on the mini ramp. I just wanted to show how well-rounded of a rider I was. And I think I did a pretty good job. And it was definitely awesome to be able to watch that video again and to relive those memories, you know. We've talked about this before when I've done other videos. Not being able to be the old Scotty Kramer it's definitely hard. It's a tough thing to live with. But going back and watching these old videos and seeing these old clips and reliving these memories I can't even tell you how important it is to me. And I'm so proud of every single one of those. So I hope you guys enjoyed sitting down watching this video with me. And as time goes by, I plan on doing more of these so we can watch other video clips and talk about it, and to give you guys backing stories as well to keep it interesting. So guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, remember to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching. Peace.